1 Kings chapter 12. And King Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel came unto Shechem to give him rain. And it came to pass, as Jeroboam son of Nebat heard of it, and he was still being in Egypt, as he had fled from the face of King Solomon and settled in Egypt, that they sent and called him. And Jeroboam came, and all the people of Israel. And the people spoke to King Rehoboam, saying, Your father hardened our neck yoke, and you now lighten from the hard servitude of your father, and from this heavy neck yoke of which he put upon us, and we will serve to you. And he said to them, Go forth for 3 days, and return to me. And they went forth. And King Rehoboam reported to the elders who were standing before Solomon his father, while he was still living, saying, How do you counsel that I should answer to this people a word? And they spoke to him, saying, If in this day you will be a bondman to this people, and should serve them, and shall speak to them with good words, then they will be to you bondmen all the days. And he abandoned the counsel of the elders, which they advised him, and took up advice with the young men, being brought up with him, standing before his face. And he said to them, What do you advise? And what should I answer to this people, speaking to me, saying, Lighten up the neck yoke which your father put upon us? And they spoke to him, the young men, having been brought up with him, and they said, Thus you shall speak to this people, speaking to you, saying, Your father oppressed our neck yoke, and you now lighten it from us. Thus you shall say to them, My thinness is thicker than the loin of my father. And now my father saddled you with a heavy neck yoke, and I will add unto your neck yoke. My father corrected you with whips, but I will correct you with scorpions. And Jeroboam came, and all Israel, to King Rehoboam on the 3rd day, as the king spoke to them, saying, Return to me the 3rd day. And the king answered to the people hard. And Rehoboam abandoned the counsel of the elders which they advised him, and he spoke to them according to the counsel of the young men, saying, My father oppressed your neck yoke, and I shall add to your neck yoke. My father corrected you with whips, and I will correct you with scorpions. And the king did not hear the people, for it was a conversion by the Lord, so that his word should stand, which he spoke by the hand of Ahijah the Shilonite, over Jeroboam son of Nebat. And all Israel knew that the king hearkened not to them. And the people answered to the king, saying, What is our portion with David? And there is not an inheritance to us with the son of Jesse. Run, O Israel, to your tents. Now graze your own house, David. And Israel went forth to his tents. And the sons of Israel dwelling in the cities of Judah gave rein to Rehoboam over them. And King Rehoboam sent Adoram, the one for collecting the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, and he died. And King Rehoboam anticipated by ascending upon the chariot to flee into Jerusalem. And Israel annulled allegiance with the house of David until this day. And it came to pass, as all Israel heard that Jeroboam returned from out of Egypt, that they sent and called him to the congregation, and they gave him reign over Israel. And there was not one following after the house of David, except the chiefdom of Judah and Benjamin only. And Rehoboam entered into Jerusalem, and he held an assembly of all the congregation of Judah and the chiefdom of Benjamin, 120,000 young men for making war, to wage war against the house of Israel, to return the kingdom of Rehoboam son of Solomon. And there came to pass the word of the Lord to Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, Speak to Rehoboam, son of Solomon, king of Judah, and to all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the rest of the people, saying, Thus says the Lord, You shall not ascend, nor wage war with your brethren of the sons of Israel. Let each return to his house, for from me this thing has taken place. And they hearkened to the word of the Lord, and ceased to go against the saying of the Lord. And Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and dwelt in it. And he went forth from there, and built Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, Behold, now the kingdom shall return to the house of David. If this people should ascend to offer a sacrifice in the house of the Lord in Jerusalem, then the heart of the people shall turn towards their master, to Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they shall kill me. And the king consulted, and made 2 heifers of gold, and said to the people, Let it be enough for you to ascend to Jerusalem. Behold, your gods, O Israel, the ones leading you from out of the land of Egypt. And he put the one in Bethel, and the other one he put in Dan. And this account came to pass for sin. And the people went after the one unto Dan. And he made houses upon high places, and appointed priests from any part from out of the people, who were not from out of the sons of Levi. And Jeroboam made a holiday feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, according to the holiday in Judah. And he ascended unto the altar which he made in Bethel, to sacrifice to the heifers which he made. And he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he made. And he ascended unto the altar which he made in the 15th day in the 8th month, in the holiday which he shaped out of his own heart. And he made the holiday for the sons of Israel, and ascended unto the altar to sacrifice upon it.